Good day, everyone. I am Abigail Y. Oghayan from BS in Chemistry 2H1, and I am going to report about the results annotation of the book Sucesus de las Islas Filipinas by Antonio Morga, which is translated into English by Austin Craig. So, I am only going to discuss about some important parts in pages 95 to 98. So, yeah, let's get started. Argensola, a historian, says that they were manned by an expedient which was considered harsh. This was him in telling with 4 special galleys for Dasmariñas expedition. It was ordered that they should boat and form crews which consist of Indians who were slaves of the former Indian chiefs or principals, and the price was to be advanced by comenderos that would be reimbursed from the royal treasury. In spite of this promised compensation, Filipinos were not correct in calling their dependent slaves, since the masters treated them and loved them like sons. According to Morga, 250 Chinese oarsmen who manned Governor Dasmariñas' swift galley were underpaid and had a special favor for not being chained to their benches that led them to revolt and kill the governor. But Gaspar de San Agustin, also a historian, states that the reason for that revolt was the governor's abusive language and his threatening to rowers. The Filipinos, on the other hand, have been much more long-suffering than Chinese, since in spite of being obliged to row on more than one occasion, they never mutinied. Philippines had more than 9/10 natives who were infidels, making religion a broad field for the missionaries. Truth is that the ancient activity was not for the faith alone, because the missionaries had to go to islands rich in spices and gold. For this reason, many Protestants around the world were doubtful to accept the light and the true religion because of the abusive friars and them considering religion as a kind of domination. Rodriguez de Figueroa attempts to conquer Mindanao with his contract to the King of Spain. There was a fight along the Rio Grande and the Buhay-Haines at that time. Their general was celebrated Salonga, later distinguished for many deeds and raids on the Visayas and adjacent islands. Ubal, a Filipino, killed Rodriguez de Figueroa, which was his promise that he kept, and that is to do away with leader of the Spanish invaders. During European civilization, death has always been its first sign on its introduction in the Pacific Ocean, where civilized islands are losing their population at a terrible rate. Just like in Magellan's arrival in the Marianas Islands, who took down more than 40 houses and small crafts, burned because one of his ships had been stolen. Spanish and Portuguese were suspected by Japanese that their religious propaganda has a political motives. The Filipinos who was baptized was not only subjected to the King of Spain but also slaves to the encomenderos, and as well as slaves of the churches and converts. In 1625, the King of Spain had arranged with certain members of Philippine religious orders that under preaching of the faith, they should win over the Japanese and the King of Spain should become also the King of Japan. Therefore, it was not only for the religion that they were converting the infidels. In 1599, Datu Sali and Silonga raided with 50 sailing vessels and 3,000 warriors against the capital of Panay, which was considered as the first act of piracy by the inhabitants of the south. With the enormous sum of gold which was taken from the islands, tributes collected by the encomenderos, $9 million collected to pay the military, expenses of the employees' diplomatic agents, salaries paid out of the Philippine Treasury not only for those who come to Philippines but also for those who leave, many captives gone, great number of soldiers killed in expeditions, death of industry, the demoralization of the Filipinos. Yet, Spaniards claimed that Filipinos have contributed nothing to the mother Spain, and that it is islands which owe everything. While Japan was preparing to invade Philippines, these islands were sending expeditions to Tonquin and Cambodia, leaving the homeland helpless. That ends my report for this chapter. I hope you learned something in Rizal's annotation in the book of Antonio Morga. So, thank you for listening and God bless.